Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today on this lovely Saturday? Well, I'm recording this Saturday. I don't know when I'm gonna put this out. Maybe Sunday, maybe Monday, maybe when I got time. We got homework to do, babies to take care of. So, you know, got stuff to do. So we'll see when I can edit this video and put this out. But let's get back to business. All right, let's get to business. So today we're going to be talking about Ricky Chekevdia. Now, if I butchered this name, we blame it Google Translator because I didn't know how to say it. So I looked it up because you ain't gonna make me look like an amateur, even though I'm an amateur. It's all good though. But yeah, we're gonna talk about him. This is basically a story about you see, it's the title says the boy in the wall. Uh, yeah, he was trapped in a wall for a certain amount of time. But we'll get to the whys, the whats, the whos, and all that later. So, well, actually, you know what? We'll get into it now. Let's do it. Let's do it now. Right now. So one day I'm chilling, laying in bed, being the bad bee that I am. You know, because we just saying that. Yeah, we did. Um, I think I was on TikTok, to be completely honest. TikTok be giving me material, y'all. Y'all just don't understand. Um, TikTok really be giving me things to like look into because some of this be wild. But sometimes they be off the they be putting little extras on it. So that's why I like to research my stuff first, you know, so I could spit facts and I be out here bullshitting y'all and be out here looking stupid, adding extras. But yeah, so my boy Richard, you can call him Richard, you can call him Ricky Chekevdia. He was born in 2002 to his parents, Sharon Wilfong. Whoa, what a name, bro! I ain't never heard of that. That's a new one. And Michael Chekevdia. They dated for a little bit, which obviously led to them making Ricky. We all know what happened. I don't need to go in specifics. So Michael and Sharon decided to break up even before Ricky was born. So short-lived relationship. So maybe some envy, maybe some anger built up, maybe some feelings on one side but not on the other. I don't know. We'll get into that more later, maybe. So this basically started a legal battle for custody of the other child. So now we getting into legal stuff. We're getting legal now, guys. So at first they had an agreement, guys, but the problem was they hate each other. They hate each other's guts. But they agreed to share custody of Ricky because in the end they wanted what was best for Ricky. So his father wanted to spend as much time as he could with his son, but that was difficult because he spent time in the National Guard. So, okay, he served the country. Salute my boy. Appreciate that, you know. So he ended up getting deployed to Iraq. And during that time, it was hard for him to be around. So, and with that little bit of time he had before he was getting deployed, he made sure to spend as much time with Ricky as he could because he wanted his son to know that he cared for him, even though he was not would not be a part of his life for a big portion during that period. He didn't want his son to forget that he did, in fact, love him. So, this is when stuff started getting a little twisted. This is when the mom started getting a little petty, getting a little sadistic. That's why I was saying she might be a little salty, might be a little jealousy, might be a little anger. She might be upset at the fact that maybe they had a better relationship than her and Ricky. It could have been a lot of different factors. We don't know. I'm just I'm assuming just throwing my thoughts out there. You know, even though they had an agreement, yeah, the mom Sharon started acting a little strange and started acting a little fishy, and we like we don't know what's going on. So Sharon was basically the typical salty baby mama that nobody wants. She's the baby mama from hell. She's one of those. She's so we gonna tell you why. So she often took their son away despite the fact that they shared custody. Michael couldn't be with him, even when he had free time. Michael was doing everything he could for his son, so he was confused as to why Sharon was, being salty, being a salt bucket, not letting this man be a father. But she just weird in general. But we gon' y'all gon' see why she weird. Okay, so he was confused as why she was going against the agreement. So of course he got the feds involved. Like, shit. Hey, when it comes to kids, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Michael knew he had the right to be with his kid. He took to the court and fought for custody rights for Ricky. However, things didn't go as planned. While he did get temporary custody of Ricky, it was because Sharon never appeared in court, which is suspicious. Yeah, like it's a court battle. You have to show up. You're fighting for custody of your child. So everybody was kind of confused as to why she didn't show up. And from that point on, things got even more strange. So she didn't appear in court, like I said, and he couldn't be with Ricky because Sharon wasn't around. She vanished. She like disappeared. She was like, I ain't here no more. It's a transmission. I'm out here. Boom. Like, what's going on? Now, this is where the story kind of takes a little crazy turn and shows the links where some people will go, which is to Looneyville. This is where she belongs. Looneyville. That should be her place of residence. Looneyville. Okay. Well, Michael didn't know at first, but Ricky was in trouble. Michael waited for some time, however, it was taking too long for Sharon to appear with Ricky. So in November 2007, he realized that both his ex and his son disappeared. He hoped that at least one of them would appear, but to no avail. No, they didn't show up. I told you, MIA. It's a transmission. She went to a whole nother planet or something. We don't know. We don't know what's going on. So he was alarmed. He was scared. It didn't take long for him to basically reach out to the cops again and request to have Sharon and Ricky put on the missing persons report. I mean, at this point, that's what they were. They were missing persons. So Michael had a gut feeling that Sharon wasn't innocent. He felt like she was up to something. He didn't know what lengths she went to or what she actually did, but he felt like she was up to something. So he was right. He was worried. He was worried about Ricky, man. He was worried about his son. He wanted to see his son, just like any normal father, unless you watching like a Maury episode or something, because those be the little. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Just be a dad, y'all. Just be a daddy. All right, but yeah. So he felt like something was up. He was worried, and he didn't know what she was up to. So he did everything he could to assist the authorities. And they searched and they searched and they searched and they could not find Ricky no matter what they did. Michael told them everywhere the ex went, everywhere she stayed, he had everything on her. He had a Carfax on her. He knew everything. But there was really no results. The authorities never found Sharon. They never found Ricky. And after a while, what can you do? Michael lost hope. until he was. I mean, I don't know what happened. I guess he got a bright idea, and honestly, it's probably the best idea he ever had in his life. I'm gonna give Michael his props though. Michael definitely deserves his props because he a real one. He a real one. He fought for his kid. He made sure to find his kid. He did what he could. This man basically became what's that movie called with Liam Neeson when the kid get hold on let me stop before I spoil what's going on. All right. But I mean, we all know it's a kidnapping movie, so I've been telling y'all without saying it's a kidnapping, but clearly if you read between the lines, but like I was saying, he a real one. you know he lost hope, but he didn't stop fighting. He did everything he could because he loved his son. He wanted his son back. So he went to Shannon's mother's house, Diane Dobbs. She always kept in touch with her daughter, so he knew if somebody was gonna know where she was, it was gonna be her. So he was like, "Where they at though?" He ran up on her and basically asked, like, "Where they at? Where's my son and your batshit crazy daughter?" But basically, soon enough, the cops came and they looked around the house, but they found nothing. Everything looked normal, typical program. Old crazy lady, basically. So the search didn't reveal anything, and she was still a person of interest. And Michael felt like she knew something. He knew, it's his instinct. He knew it for a fact. Someone was telling him, and something was not letting him forget not to focus his J on nobody else but Shannon and her mother. So, and I think that was a good idea. So that is the house that they are staying in. That is the house that did get raided by the feds on some CSI or some criminal mind stuff. Honestly, this is a criminal minds type case, bro. When I get more into it, this is a criminal minds type case. This is something that you would see on Criminal Minds. Yes, there you go. Perfect comparison. But Mama D over here had a plan all along for if the feds did come a knocking, which they did. So she all had this planned out, and we gonna see how this plan turned out for her. So, like I said, she had a plan. And after the authorities approached her for questioning, she began talking about Michael, basically dragging this man through the mud, making him seem like the most undespicable human being you've ever heard of in your life. And she claimed that he sexually abused Ricky. Sensitive topic. According to her, that's why Shannon kept her son away from him. This is serious, y'all. This is a serious allegation. So afterwards, Mama D crazy self held signs in her yard, which you guys see. You guys see the sign. You guys can read the sign. I'm putting it up long enough so you guys can be able to read that sign. She also distributed flyers around the local area, basically just continuing to keep bashing Michael and making Michael just look like dirt. And she wanted Michael to undergo a lie detector test. But Michael felt like he had no reason to, which he didn't. He had no reason to go under this. But she was kind of trying to deflect the blame, of course, off of her daughter and the situation, and she's trying to make them look at the father. But Michael made sure to say he never abused Ricky, nor would he ever. And honestly, the cops must have believed him. If anything, Diane, aka Mama D, allegations against Michael made him believe that she was doing it to keep Ricky hidden. Bro, I think he was a secret agent, bro. This is the only thing that makes sense. He's a secret agent. Like, he really is Liam Neeson, bro. I believe it. I believe this. I believe it. But like I was saying, since he thought, well, since he felt Ricky was being hidden, he felt that's why the allegations were being spread to keep the attention away from Shannon. With this, Michael focused on Shannon's mother's residence. He made sure to buckle down on the house. That's where he felt everything was going on. And that's where he felt that was the trap house. That was the trap house. So basically, the grandma played herself, bro. She talked too much. If she would have kept herself quiet, maybe their little scheme would have worked. But we gonna see. She played herself into being a suspect. People don't realize cops are looking at the way you react to certain things, the way you act, the way you grieve when it comes to certain things. So she set herself up, made herself out to be a suspect, which she should have been from the beginning. But he didn't have evidence. But he was confident that Ricky was in his grandma's house. So when he paid close attention to the house, he noticed strange things. He noticed the windows always had shades and other items. This was weird. This was suspicious. We Cardi B in out here. At some point, a normal person would have pulled up the blinds to let the sun in eventually. On a hot day, maybe you just tired of being in the dark. It could be a lot of different reasons why you would let sun into your house. But they always blocked the windows. They made sure nobody peeked inside. And Michael had to deal with this for 2 years, y'all. That's how long he didn't get to see his son. That's how long his son was missing. That's how long, everything was going on. 2 years. And when y'all find out what happened, y'all gonna be like, what? So, the authorities were willing to help Michael find Ricky and Shannon. However, there weren't any leads until 2007. 2007, clutch. That's when I graduated middle school. So clutch. 2007. Get with it. So, an anonymous individual requested them to look at Mama D's house again. At this point, they were going to look everywhere. They're going to make sure they check every ounce of that house. Because they felt like something about that house wasn't right. Something about it. So, the authorities were not confident about the tip, but they made sure to go anyways. Which, the cops finally did their job, y'all. They did it. So they end up going to the house. Okay. So the first search led to nothing, as we know. But this time, authorities made sure they brought out their big guns. Even though they wasn't sure about this tip, they made sure to go all out. Just in case the chance was that Ricky was there. So at first, the police didn't think anything new would pop up, but they did what they did. But they went all around the house. They finally saw something weird and suspicious. and they didn't understand why it was there. It was in a very weird placement. It was a dresser. All homes have dresser. You have a dresser. I have a dresser. Everybody has dressers in their homes usually. But like I said, it was in a weird place. It looked like it was to hide something. Let me say that again. She had a dresser in the way to hide something with that dresser. When they moved the dresser, they spotted a hole in the wall. And it wasn't a tiny hole, it was a 12 feet long, 5 foot wide, and 3 feet high fucking tunnel. Once the authorities moved closer into the hole, that's where they spotted Shannon and Ricky. Well, bro, after 2 years, Michael knew where his son was. And the crazy thing is, they were hiding him in a hole this whole time, bro. What? They wouldn't even let him go outside. They wouldn't let him do anything. They wouldn't even let him have a normal ass childhood. They kept him in a hole. Bro, that's why I told you these people is crazy. How? Why? For what? What's the purpose? You gonna hide your son in a hole just to keep him away from the father for 2 years? Like, that's her child, and that's your child's father. He has every right, but who am I? Who am I? Who am I? In a fucking hole, bro. In a hole. That's where they found him. In a freaking hole in a wall. And how big is your like? How do you do that to fit them in a hole? Like, how do you fit two humans in that hole? How do you bury that hole into your house in a wall at that? I could see if it was in maybe in the ground somewhere. Yeah, okay, a tunnel in the ground. Yeah, okay, but you did it in your house. I got questions. Who is your interior decorator? What if I want a tunnel? I could be like my man cave and actually have a legit man cave. I'm just saying. Just think about it. Just process this, guys. It'll make sense one day. It'll make sense. So they find Ricky. They call Michael. Michael's ecstatic. Um, of course, for a minute he felt like it never happened. So it was unreal to him. His son was here. His son was in his arms. He was looking for him for 2 years. And the crazy thing is, he was only 3 miles away. It was just a drive. Your son was a drive away from you, and you had no idea. You know, like, it's crazy. People are crazy. Humans are crazy. We're a crazy species. This situation's crazy. People in there are crazy. Everything's just crazy. Ricky is safe. Ricky's with his dad. He don't have to worry about being in a cage, or whatever he had to deal with in that tunnel or whatever was in that wall. So Shannon and Diane were both in police custody, and they now faced child abuse charges, which they should have. Ricky was very young when Shannon took it, when he was taken. So here's a quote though from a master Sergeant Stan Diggs of the Illinois State Police. Here's a quote. We let him out of the car and he ran around like he never seen the outdoors. It was really sad. Is this on some I'm not crying, you're crying type stuff? It's emotional as shit. But he also said, for someone who was kept in a hole behind a wall, Ricky seemed fine. He commented he was very social, very polite, very talkative little boy. I was rooting for my boy, so I have to put that in there. I was excited. I'm glad that he was cool, but that was just on the mental side. On the physical side, he was in pretty bad shape. He was thin, he was pale. He wasn't getting that sunlight that he needed. He probably wasn't getting the nutrients that he needed. The sunny D. There was a lot of things that he was not getting. So he couldn't live with Michael right away because a judge had to make a final decision on custody, which is weird. Which is just like, bro, I didn't have my kid for 2 years. He was behind a dresser at his grandma's house. Give me my son. But anyways, it was clear that it was planned, it was meditated, and basically they dug this hole. So this hole behind the dresser, it had a hole in the floor. It had a hole behind another wall. It was like a lot of different areas in that home which they could have took Ricky to hide if the cops were there or if need be. They made so many little escape routes. That's the crazy part. So I just don't get it. So Mama D got caught for being a liar, which we all knew she was. She was suspicious from the beginning. And according to her, she was just doing what was best for Ricky. And that's what crazy people's favorite line is. And according to her, Ricky only spent like 5 minutes in that hole the whole 2 years. Bro, how? How, Sway? He was pale as hell, thin as hell. Y'all was keeping that boy. That was probably where he was living. That's probably where he was sleeping. That probably were not even letting him out that home. And the crazy thing is, they even were giving her interviews on Good Morning America, y'all. She had Good Morning America interviews. Like, this was basically like a financial gain for them. This was just craziness at its finest. So, the Stooges over here got some charges, of course, other than child abduction. They also got charged with abetting a felony because, Shannon, hello. So even the fiance, I guess Diane, Mama D had a fiance, he got charged. But she refused to take back what she said about Michael. She said everything she said about Michael was true. That's just a fucked up family, bro. Like, the family is weird. And Shannon also got prosecuted for child neglect. As Ricky's mother, she didn't allow Ricky to visit doctors or go to school. She stopped him from having a typical child life. So the trial was 4 months. According to some witnesses, they actually did see Ricky outside sometimes, but they was only at night, and it was very rare. But according to Diane, Ricky was able to go outside whenever he wanted, but clearly the evidence says otherwise. But eventually, they pled guilty. They couldn't deny the charges anymore. Both the witnesses and what the authorities found in the house proved that they were lying all along. We all knew this. We can all see the evidence. We've watched enough TV shows and stuff to know. We've been around the block enough to know. So, they didn't want to face more jail time if they ended up, keep fighting these charges and saying what was happening wasn't happening. But this is what's crazy to me. This is what I have an issue with. Look at this. Shannon was fined $1,500 and had to spend a month in jail for hiding your kid for 2 years. Can you understand that? You had your kid. You was neglectful. You didn't let him have a child life. You abused him. He wasn't getting what he needed. And you only got a month in jail. And she was also put on probation for 2 years. Well, yeah. That's such a harsh punishment. Oh my god. That's insane. And her mother was only jailed 12 days and fined $1,000. Privilege. But there is a happy ending to this. Michael was eventually given full custody of Ricky. Shannon is still able to visit him, but I don't know how their relationship is now, how it stands. Um, if that was my mama, I might be a little reserved on how I feel about her, but that's just me. I'm not Ricky. So, but Michael gave him, now that he's with Michael, he gave him every right to be a kid. He let him be a kid. He let him do everything as a kid. And he tried to make sure he gave him as many outdoor activities as he could, from hiking to swimming to rock climbing to anything. Anything that had to do with the outdoors, he wanted to make sure that he, learned how to do and was able to do and was able to enjoy it, since he was locked in a cave, guys, a tunnel, whatever you want to call it, in a wall. So Ricky, I think he's pretty old now. He should be around high school, college. I think around now. He's like a normal teen, guys. That's the crazy situation. He has no long term trauma, no long term effects. He's in sports. Um, he attends social events. So at the end, I guess, you know, he went through a crazy thing, but he came out unfazed. And moms, this is how we feel about you, ma'am. Deuces. Well, we are done here. Y'all see how crazy that shit was. They locked this man in the wall. Was boy in the wall. I heard a cage when I did some digging. Some stuff didn't say a cage, so I don't know what to go with. But it could have possibly been in a cage. But y'all see how it is. I already got and what I'm gonna do for the new episode. That'll be coming up. And TikTok didn't give me the idea that this time. I actually got it from a coworker, one of the homies. So, and that's even crazier. That's like some Texas Chainsaw Massacre type stuff. So that can give you a feel of what the next episode gonna be about. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. If you're messing with your boy, if you're not, send me somebody who might mess with me. Let's do this. Let's get this out here. I like doing these. These are fun. But yeah, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. See y'all. Till next time. Next one definitely be a banger. So I'll see y'all. All right. Peace.